Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So we're gonna do some more drawing of the face on here, and painting some. Now somebody had mentioned in a comment, and I'm so sorry, I can't remember your name at the moment. I wrote it down, but if you know what I'm like, it could be anywhere. About, I believe you meant doing her hair and putting this in the as like a ponytail, like putting her hair in a ponytail so this shows. Is that what you meant? Or I was thinking, it would be cute if I do a ponytail and leave that as the um like clip. You know how you do, like, sometimes JoJo Siwa where she puts the bow, it could be a flower as the ponytail holder, you know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that's what you meant, and this is the flower that you meant to save. We're gonna see. Okay, so if you are just finding me, watch the video. This isn't necessarily a how-to kind of video. I've been doing this not a series because it's really not, just for my regulars out there who watch me all the time, just kind of doing a mixed media. I will be doing a mixed media start to finish. I want to do a live, like do live, so you guys can come and we can watch and talk, and maybe you guys can do with me and we'll do start to finish and all that fun stuff. But now I'm just kind of playing at the moment today. I have a couple more videos coming up where I'm going to be doing another dollar store. I did 5 things to get from the dollar store for, using in your mixed media or to do a craft with. And so I have another one of those coming up. And I'm also going to do, that was Dollar Tree. I want to do Dollar General, and I want to do Five Below. Five Below has some good art stuff that you could buy. Anyway, but also I got a lot of new stuff up on my Etsy. If you've not seen it already, I have more stuff to put up, which will be going up this week. That link is down below. You can just search Knitting and Things. And something, I know, listen, no, my dog's gonna go nuts because the puppy loves these. I made witch's bells to put on my doors, and it's 3 bells, and I don't know if anybody's interested, but I got these on clearance, the bells, and I was very excited at, was it Michael's? No, it was Joann's, and they have these on clearance, on sale. So I do the 3 bells, and I'm going to hang them, and they're witch's bells. They keep away negativity and that kind of thing. Plus, just between you and me, if somebody comes in or out your house, you got the bells, and I can train the puppy how to go to the bathroom, because we trained the dogs back in the day when we used to rescue a lot. The dogs would just go ring the bells with their nose, and we would know they had to go out. So there's all kinds of good things with these. So yeah, and I did it on green ribbon just to kind of, Okay, so I have string, but I didn't find it at the time. such dribble drabble. I know somebody's gonna complain. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with, I think I'm gonna use a light brown. This is called asphaltum. This is folk art, but you can use whatever, like burnt sienna, burnt umber, anything light, you know what I mean? And so I need to shake this a little bit better. I'm gonna take a small paintbrush, and it could be whatever paintbrush you have. What the heck is that? And you can see I've already kind of sketched out my eyes where I want them. So I can take my sticker. I know. Do that before. Why are you going to do it now? I'm going to have to do it now. Okay. I'm just going to lightly sketch over this way. Very lightly. So I know where I want my eye to kind of meet, for now. I'm not going realistic, okay? So we know. Now, I got asked a question in one of the comments, so I figured I would answer it here again. Um, if you don't have gesso, what do? Use your white paint. Now, here's the thing. Gesso is, and I answer this again in a questions video, but gesso is essentially white paint and it got chalk in it. It's chalky. And it's so the paint can, like, it can coat your surface and your paint can go on there. And so it's basically a base coat. Okay. So think of like flat paint. If you don't have gesso, and a lot of us don't. And remember, you can go to your local arts and crafts store and use a coupon and get gesso. Blitzy online is a great place. I'll put the link down below. Blitzy. They have all gesso and paint and all that kind of stuff. You can do that. You can make it yourself. You can, which I do with Mod Podge, white school glue, powder, water, if you want to clear paint and all that kind of stuff, which I know I have to do an updated video on. You guys keep asking. Um, so, uh, you know, gesso can be a wonderful thing. I don't always use gesso. I will use whatever I'm going to base coat something with. So if I have paper and I'm like, you know what, I want the background to be blue. Well, that ends up being my gesso because that's coating the paper so my paint doesn't suck in. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, you can definitely just use white paint or whatever your base coat's going to be and just move on. People argue about that with me constantly, but I don't listen to them because I've been painting since before I can remember, and it is just what it is. If you use a coupon, go to buy gesso, it's wonderful. I have black gesso, white gesso, um, clear gesso, which I use. I use clear more than anything. Uh, but you know, so that's kind of what it is. Do you need it? No. Is it nice to have? Yeah, I mean, everything's nice to have as far as art supplies, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go in here with this tan little brush, and I'm gonna dip it in. I'm gonna dip it in. Okay, and I'm gonna go and just outline my eye. Now I can see that one's a little up in the air and she looks a little weird. So there's many things you can do. Take another paintbrush, wet it with clear water, with clean water, and then go in, and it's like the magic eraser for your paints. And then I rinse it off again. I'll dry it for the most part, not dry. And then I'll go in and get off the other part, and I smudge the other part. Remember that other part's wet, even though I just did it. And but my name's Kelly. Hello, and I'm a mess. Okay, so you see what I mean? And there, it's off, and then you can dry it and do, you know, whatever, and keep going, keep going. So I want this down here a little bit more where it edged. So I'm just going to give myself a little. See, it's hard to see because it's wet. Like I said, I'm not really. I mean, this is going to be a vlog kind of thing. And there's much debate about the heat gun and using it. It's another certain things I get the same comments and questions over. So there. So that's just basically it. Not a big deal. I just want to outline it. And yes, you can squeeze your paint out on anything. Sometimes I will just take, I mean, it depends on what I'm doing here. I have a mess right here, but I'll put like a piece of printer paper or whatever, and that'll kind of become my palette for a minute. Because then if I squeeze a little bit of this out, use it, and I have a little bit left, I just smudge it on there, and then that becomes, so it's like multi-purpose, not surface. The heat gun is a big thing people get upset with me about. Now listen, you do whatever you want to do. I use it. I've always used it, but I don't dry like with it, like concentrating in one area as if I was embossing. That is what your heat gun's for, is to emboss. I get it. But for me, it's easier. I always say though, If you don't have a heat gun, go to your local thrift store, Goodwill store. Goodwill has them for $1.99, and then you have your heat, your dry tool. So yeah, but I know people say, oh, don't use the heat gun, this, that, whatever. You do you. I'm not going to go buy something else or have two things sitting here. So, and no, I don't emboss that often, but it is just what I was taught to do, and that's it. And so, like, if I'm one of them people, if I get taught to do something, then that's kind of where I stick. It's really hard for me. Like, if you're like, oh, this is, let me think of a name. This is William. Hi, William. How are you? Well, then all of a sudden, everybody's calling him Billy, and I'm still calling him William because you introduced him. Like, I can't get it through my head. Medication, illness could be, but I'm just weird that way. But my heat guns have broke, and I have used, guess what, a hair dryer. So I'm not against it. So please don't, I'm not against it at all. It's just not what I'm using at the moment. I always say there's so many of us on YouTube. Watch your favorite YouTuber, whoever you trust, whatever, and do what, if you say, oh, that's what they say, then do it. Nothing wrong with that. I have nothing against anybody. You just do what you want to do. I always say, you do you, boo. Because we're all different and we all have different capabilities. I love folk art. I use folk art all the time. Do I have golden and Liquitex? I do, and I use those too. But, I can really only afford craft paints unless I use a coupon and go buy one by one. And my craft paints work fantastic. I love folk art. They're fantastic to use. Other people poo-poo on them. So, I'm giving her big lips. So you do what you want to do. If you can only afford craft paints, there is not a darn thing wrong with that. If you can afford golden and all that, then go. It's the same stuff. I get tired of, people. That's what I said. Like, don't, you do what you want to do. That's all. I don't really care what you do. This is what I do. I get like tired of keep repeating it because it just gets on my nerves. Honestly. Honestly. So enough of that. Alright, so this is what I'm doing. And I'm going to go in and just trace where I usually do green eyes. If you've been with me, you know. Okay. So you see, that's just so we have a permanent. Now, let me tell you something. I'll go in quite a few times and I'll clean it up. Like I'll do all kinds of stuff. So it's not necessarily going to stay that way. Like I can see I got a smudge under here. I can go in a little bit with with the water if I want, but I'll just go in with the acrylic paint once it's dry. That's all. Okay. And you know what I'll do before because of course, why not clean your brush and then go back? I'll put like a little line there. I'll do it dark so it stays. But yeah, everybody's different. We all like different music. We all like different things. I am a grunge girl. I just do what I like to do. If you want to watch and you like what I do, I'm all for it. If you don't, go find somebody you like. You like it till you watch it. Watch. My grandmother used to say about eating. Anyway, I'm going in with green. I want to do lighter on this side, darker on those sides. Just because, like, maybe the light's hitting that way. Or maybe not. And I probably need a bigger brush, but I am like one of them people, maybe you are. Let me know down below. I am one of those people that gets stuck. Like, I shouldn't say get stuck, but like I have this in my hand and I'll end up painting like all kinds of things with it. And then I'm like, why didn't you just get a bigger brush? Because I don't know why I do that, but I do. Am I the only one? I have a million brushes sitting here and I use the same one over and over or the same ones. And I will specifically like if I go like you could see I got this on clearance, not on clearance, but on sale, and maybe it was clearance. And I will like I only picked it up because it was sitting here and it was small. But I have new brushes I buy like on clearance or I get from Folk Art or whatever. And I have so I put them in here specifically like to remind me when I go grab for a brush, like grab a new one. Do I? Nope. Nope, I don't. Okay, so some green. And then I'm going to do a little darker. This is citrus green. And honestly, it's not that much different in the color. Okay, Emily's going. Her and my sister and their friend are going to Atlantic City tonight to a drag show. There's a big drag show. I know, please don't leave me nasty comments. I know a lot of you don't like that, but we do. My husband too. We all just we watch RuPaul, and now we're watching the RuPaul in UK, and so we love it. And so yeah, so she's going. They're going tonight to Atlantic City to watch. So she's getting ready. So it's so exciting. I don't leave my home, so I have much anxiety, but she does. So I'm glad. I'm glad she's not screwed up like me that way. She has tendencies to be like that, but she's much more. I just have that terrible. I would never leave my house. And now with Amazon and you can get food delivered and stuff, why would you? They make me leave, trust me, but I'm not. Oh gosh, it's not my favorite thing. I'm gonna do yin and yang in the eye a little bit. I can clean that up a little bit. Then I'll show you up close because I can see it's wet and it's hard to. I'm not gonna wash it. I'm gonna just go in and wipe it off and go in. Do any of you guys watch? Which way should I go? Go this way. Do any of you guys watch RuPaul or anything? Yeah, we love it. Alright, now I can go in a little bit more with that dark green and that will be done. I don't even know if we'll be able to see it with like the pupil, but I want it in the background because I know I did it. I also love doing, which I'm going to do a painting doing it. I've done it before, but where there's stars in the eyes. Love it. All right, that's not exactly the best, but it shall suffice. Okay. Like I said, all that can be cleaned up. Don't worry. Be happy. I hope I don't copywritten for that. Copy strike. Copy strike. You know what else is something I love is using as chalk. I don't see my chalk thing up there, like for the blush and all that kind of stuff. And you can also use, if you're doing in your art journal and that stuff, you can use, like if you have makeup or go to the dollar store, use it. Use the blush, and stuff like that because, it's just for you. It's not for, like you're selling it for longevity. Do you know what I mean? I don't even know if it would do anything, but I know like having, like when I make anything, I really make an effort to 100% make sure that it's like the, paint that is archival and like glue that's archival. Do you know what I mean? So, all right. So I'm going to go in. Let's do the eyebrows. Will those dry? I'm going to use the asphaltum again, just the brown. I'll just do some hairs. I wish I had these little hairs. We love hairs on our eyebrows, but not in our food. You know what I'm saying? I don't ask what that even means, Kelly. Oh my God. Yeah. Remember, everything that you do, like, I know so many people are like, you don't like to um, draw, or you don't think you draw well, all that kind of stuff. But everything can be fixed and corrected with, you know, gesso or paint, or like I said, you're going to see I'll fix the eyes because they're not like how exactly I want them, but I'm okay. I like doing it and then going back, and some people, maybe that bothers them and they fix it all, and that's their gig, and I'm like, hey, you do you. You know? Look, I'm the one who would rather have polenta than pasta. Do you know what I'm saying? Does anybody know what polenta is? It is one of my favorite things in the world, with a meat sauce on my polenta with Italian bread with butter on it. Is it keto? No. Is it Weight Watchers? No. Is it delish? Oh, yeah. So, whatever. Nobody says that you have to like polenta. My family likes pasta. Dave and Emily could eat pasta every single day of the week. Not me. Unless I have to like do it up. I have to make like raviolis with spinach and meat, or I have to make, it has to be like baked ziti or something like that. You could just boil up pasta, throw sauce on it, and you're done. And they're like, yeah, not me. Not what I like. But everybody's different. Let's go in and I'm just doing a very limited palette here with some magenta. What I have sitting here, I'm not worrying about it too much. I'll just use this one since it's here. Just a regular round brush. I'm going to go in. Now, if I was thinking ahead, and I never do, and I wish that was a trait that I had, even if I really make an effort to say to myself, like, make sure you think ahead in the color scheme and all that, I would have probably done, like, outlined the lips in this color, rather than the brown that I did. Is it the end of the world? No, it'll be fine. But, it's just one of those things that's something about me that I can't, I don't know. Illnesses, medication, boy, oh boy, they really mess with you. And what you can do in life. Thinking. Something as easy as thinking. Or decision making. Oh my gosh. Like if somebody gives me options, if Dave's not with me or Emily's not with me, I have no idea. I'm telling you, it's one of the reasons I don't like going out by myself, because I'm a mess. And then the anxiety kicks in because I don't know. My brain it's like I freeze. And I process everything late. Oh, the messes I'm in. So many problems, so many issues. So many issues. I don't know how my family deals with me or stays with me, because I'm a mess. And I know I'm not the only one out there, so that's why, And it doesn't have to be having illness or medication. Sometimes I'm sure just getting up and having children, or, whatever. And it's just like you don't have time to think about things, because you're so busy dealing with house stuff and kids stuff, and it gets hard. And is it the end of the world? No. And do you get over it? Yeah. But sometimes you just want to yell and have somebody understand, like, please, I don't care that you don't have carrots for your lunch and that you only have apple. You're not going to starve. Oh, I cracked myself up. Okay, now what I'm going to do is let that dry, and then I'll go back in, do another coat, and then kind of like, do the middle part so it's a little bit more outline, those kind of things. That's it. Just want to get a little bit more of this off the top. One of these days I'm going to do a video just for us people on medication, and everybody put their medication down below. I'm just curious what everybody takes. And if I'm the only one who my husband hands me a big humongous thing like that twice a day, 3 times a day sometimes. Okay. All right. Okay. So that is that. I'm going to hit it real quick with this. Don't you love when I ramble? Okay. So what I'm going to do, let's get our lightest skin color, which is light flesh. It's one of my favorites. I go through this stuff like crazy. I can mix my own flesh color, and I love it. I love doing that because like when you're doing different tones and you want different kind of things, it's great because you can kind of like have your base darker color and then go in like each shade. Like you just add a little bit more white and a little bit more white. So you have the same kind of thing, and it's great. Now I have somebody sent me oh, what's it called? A wet palette. And I'm so excited to try it. I saw that, and it's been sitting here for a while. I saw on what video was it? Anyway, somebody had used a wet palette, and at the time I was like, "Oh my gosh, I got to look into getting that." And then lo and behold, a couple weeks later, one of you beautiful souls sent me one. So I have it sitting over there, and I'm very excited. I just have to wet the, do all the things, but oh no, I don't want that in there, Cal. But where I could mix up, then I'm like, oh, I could mix up the color, the flesh colors, and have them on there. So that'll be a fun thing to do, and I'll do it on video so you guys can see in case you're interested. But I know like a lot of artists, on YouTube do that, and I think that's great. But that's kind of, I gotta be quiet. I can't talk and do certain things. Yeah, so I'm kind of excited for that, to be able to mix up different colors. But I do love, like, if you don't even want to be bothered, I do love this light flesh. I've been using this for Jesus as long as I've been doing, painting. Okay. Mod Podge is one of the old time things for me. I've been using since, I mean, my grandmother has been gone, bless her soul. How long have Dave and I been married? My son was 2.5. He would be over 26 years she's been gone. And so even longer than that, I've been using Mod Podge. I've also been using oh, I used to love, they don't do the live streams anymore, but Aileen, her daughter, and them, oh, back in the day, I loved them. So Aileen's tacky glue and all that kind of stuff, that's like an old time love of mine as well. I have it sitting over there. I got to bring it over here so I use it more because I have some things I've learned over the years with that's fun. With those, I don't know if we could do it with Mod Podge or not. That I would have to try. And like I said, I get nothing uh, for that. I just it's just what I've learned with. I'm trying to think what else there was. Like Priscilla Hauser, who's with Folk Art. I've been watching her since she was on the Carol Duvall show. I mean, I was just married, if not even earlier than that. All right, all I'm doing is bringing this down and kind of like blending it a little bit in so it kind of phases out a little bit on this side. I'm going to do the same thing here a little bit. Oh, my nose is right. I have been so, I don't know if it's allergies that, but like then I get sick, you know? And it's really driving me crazy, the congestion and ugh. Plus he's out there blowing leaves right now, which he's going to be a mess later, his allergies, but they're coming to pick him up, or the first round of it anyway. All the leaves haven't fell here. We haven't even had cold weather here really. I think one day, and it was delightful. But waiting on that cold weather. And I'm just going to do this and then blend it around. There's no reason. It's just what I do sometimes. It's just I get lost in the paint. And it's what I love. That's why I putting up my big canvas. I'm going to go here. I have my big canvases on my easel. And I love putting it up and I just throw paint. Not literally throw it, but I just like put colors down, my favorite colors, and let them dry. And I've been doing abstract a little bit more, like learning and understanding, and it's very hard. But, you know, I just do my own kind of thing. It's the same with the charcoal and all. I love it. I just love it because it's so freeing in a way. Like, yeah, there's rules and there's like things that you got to do, but I don't know. I can't explain it. I just am loving it. I'll have to show you the other things I've been doing on there. All right, so I'm just going to take the littlest bit and just get it right here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the eye. With the white, like kind of sculpt that out, let that dry, and then let me know down below about the hair, what you guys were talking about as far as how you wanted the hair, like if you want it to kind of go in the ponytail or what have you. Because this is a long video and I've just been talking and talking and talking. And I'm sorry if anybody even watches this, but I'm okay. I'm okay. Sometimes I just like coming on and blabbing. Probably should have took my glasses off to see a little bit better. Let's just do that. And this doesn't, remember when you're doing your whites like this, they don't have to be like stark white because ours aren't. You know what I mean? Like if I was doing, which I don't do many at all, real portraits. That's something else. I've tried over the years and I've like practiced it a little bit and I still want to get to that point. But right now I love doing animals and like the chalk and the charcoal and all that. So that's kind of like as real as I'm getting at the moment. But I will be doing all that too, like playing and practicing. But remember, so, this is just a folk art kind of thing. So, nothing has to be like fantastical, right? So this is what I'm going to do for her, and I'm going to let her dry, because if I go in and play around at the moment, everything's still wet, it'll lift. Let me know. It's the light. Let me know if you want to do like a ponytail, what kind of hair you guys are thinking. I'd appreciate it. And like I said, go check out my Etsy, and down below is like my Teespring stuff where you can get little stickers, with my odd girls and stuff. Um, and that's about it today. That's about it. I hope you guys at least enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. As always, please be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. I love you guys so very much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.